Hey guys, so I had put up a couple other videos of why I am making videos with guitar. In the one that is the key of G, I do this big intro as to why I wanted to do this, and a kind of a little caveat for like official guitar players and music teachers and all that kind of stuff that I get it. I am not doing like the right or a formal way to do these chords, but my intentions are to show people an easy way to play in some of these keys so that they can pick them up really quickly, and this is just to get them started. This is not saying that this is the end-all be-all or this is like the right or perfect way to do it. So anyway, all of that to say, this one is for the key of E, okay? So in the last two videos, I described anchor points and how I think that that's really important for us, especially for people who want to play and sing at the same time, that you have what we call an anchor point so that you don't have to like look as much. The key of E is probably the hardest one. It's the one that I still have to like look at because like there's like more movement. In the other two keys, in G and C, you're staying all within these 3 frets. In the key of E, you're going up all the way to here and moving back and stuff, and so this one I still have to look sometimes, but I'm still going to say that we have a slight anchor point. It just kind of changes a tiny bit. But I'm using my ring and my pinky fingers as just a guide for every single chord that I'm playing in this, okay? So in the key of E, you're going to have E, A, B, C sharp minor, and sometimes you'll have F sharp minor and G sharp minor, okay? But I'm going to show you mainly the 1, 4, 5, 6, like I said before, because that's what you usually use in worship songs. And then, yeah, so I'm going to show you those ones first, and then F sharp minor and G sharp minor are a little bit different, but they're very similar in the sense that your ring and pinky fingers are kind of the anchor points. Okay, so because those fingers are the anchor points, I'm going to play E normal, like a normal E, but I'm going to just have the formation be different because I need these 2 fingers to be like the main players in this key. Okay, so normally people would probably play an E like this, like I said, but I'm going to play it with these 3 fingers instead. The pointer finger is not going to be very useful. So a normal E is I'm going to have my middle finger 1st fret on the G string, okay? And then I'm going to have my pinky finger on the D string 2nd fret, and then my ring finger right beside it, going up a little bit, 2nd fret on the A string, okay? So it's gonna look like that. So it's a normal E, okay? So you can even look that up if you want. But since I'm playing it like this, and I'll show you why. So then if I go to an A, all I'm doing is I'm taking my middle finger away, and I'm moving both of these down 1 string. And by down, I mean up in notes, but down vertically, okay? So now, so if this is my E, and I have my middle finger back down, my A is, okay? So all you're doing is your ring finger is on the D string 2nd fret, and your pinky is on the G string 2nd fret, okay? And it's just those 2 notes. A formal A plays 3 notes, like all within the same fret. Okay, that's a normal A. But in this key, it works that you do just these 2 strings. I think that makes it like an A2 or something. It makes it a different kind of A, but just different. It's still an A though. Okay, and that's gonna make it a lot easier because then if you're going from A to B, for example, all you're doing is you're sliding this down, those same 2 fingers, you're just keeping them on the same strings, just sliding them down 2 frets, and then you're adding your pointer finger to the A string 2nd fret. Okay, so now if I'm showing you all three of these notes that I'm hitting, pointer finger is on the A string, 2nd fret. Ring finger is on the D string, 4th fret. And your pinky finger is on the G string, 4th fret. Okay, so it looks like that. And I'm not using my middle finger just because it's easier to reach, like skipping a fret in between without that middle finger. It's just easier to do this. Now, with this chord in particular, you have to be really careful because if your fingers are laying down across these strings, you're muting them, and then it sounds gross. So you really need to make sure that when you're forming this chord that you're, instead of laying your fingers down like this, you're lifting them up so that just the tips of your fingers are holding down on the fret so that you get all of the notes. Okay? So that's a B. So if I'm going from, again, from E, the normal E is like this, and then I'm going to the A, I'm just moving these two down and taking the middle finger away. And then I'm going to the B, I'm just sliding them up and then adding my pointer finger to the 2nd string there. Now, C sharp minor is B, the same, it's going to be the exact same formation as B, same shape, same strings. I'm just moving them up 2 frets, right there, okay? So if this is B, this is C sharp minor, okay? And again, I know that these are not the formal ways to play these chords, but these are different formations of them that create the same chords and hit the same 3 notes that are in those chords. So now if you need to go back, so the reason that I have these as anchor points is because now if I want to go back to A, you have to remember that I was able to slide this down to B, and then I slid this to C sharp minor, and now I can slide back to A by just lifting my pointer finger and sliding it all the way back down to the 2nd fret. Okay? So that's why that makes it very easy in the key of C to have these two as anchor points. So now the reason that I played E weirdly is because then if I need to go back to E, I just move these 2 fingers and just add my middle finger to that, G string, fret 1. Okay, so a good example of something like this would be, okay, so like Grace to Grace by Hillsong. The intro is like, dun, 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 if love endured that ancient cross. Right? Okay, so the reason that, like I said, it makes it easier to have these anchor points is then I can go from E and then just like down. So then the only difference, so like I said, it's easier to go from like E to A down to B to C sharp minor, but that's not how like songs work. It's just like an easy way to do it. So if I didn't to go from E to B, I would need to shift my fingers, these 2 fingers down a string, and then switch to my pointer finger down here. But it still makes it easy to then, once you make that switch, go to C sharp minor and then just slide down to A and then just do the small shift back to E, okay? So then that makes it easier. So on this one, like I said, because you're not exactly keeping something the same spot every time like the other 2 keys, you do have to do a little bit of like a lift sometimes, like especially from E or A to E, and then from like E to B. So you can hear that I kind of like did like a little chukka, like I did like a little chuk chuk in between. That's okay. Like. So those are those 4 chords. Now, if you're doing like a Hosanna or something. The newer version of Hosanna that Hillsong did, I think, has the F sharp minor and the G sharp minor. So yeah, I think that the intro has C sharp minor, like G sharp minor, F sharp minor. I don't know what it goes to, B or E, something. So a song like Hosanna has the G sharp minor and the F sharp minor. So an easier way to play those two chords using the same, like a similar formation of what we've been using and still using these two fingers as like anchor points is, okay, so if you're playing B, like I showed you, an F sharp minor is just inverted of that in the sense that you're kind of just switching your fingers a little bit. So you're moving these two fingers just up vertically, one string, and then you're taking this pointer finger just down below one string of where your pinky is. So that's what I mean by inverted. It's like B is like this, but then the F sharp minor is like this. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. So now, just to show you what I'm actually playing, your pointer finger is going to be on the G string 2nd fret, okay? And then your pinky finger and ring finger are going to be on the A and the D string 4th fret. So that's F sharp minor. Okay? So then take that same formation and move it up 2 frets, G sharp minor. Okay? So it's very similar to how like B and C sharp minor are, and then F sharp minor and G sharp minor are just the inverted of that. Okay, same thing. You're putting it right here and moving it up 2 frets. Okay, so now just remember, just go back, and if you need to look again at like how I'm playing certain chords, just start with just strumming them like this. Like go through strumming just until you get comfortable with actually switching them, and then the best practice that you're going to get is just taking time yourself, looking up some songs, and playing along with them. First, I would say look up some lead sheets. Some resources online have like, you know, where the chords change over the word that it changes or whatever. And then for our team, we're subscribed to Worship Online, and you can just look up songs that are in the key of E. And yeah, you can just see kind of like where the chords change and stuff like that, and then just try to play along with the song that is in the key of G. I can probably leave some suggestions in the comments or in the description of this video. But yeah, I think that the best thing that you're going to be able to do is just take that and like learn switching them, and then actually practicing with some songs and getting used to not only switching them quickly, but then also maybe singing and playing at the same time. So anyway, that's for the key of E, and I hope that this helped.